It's time for Down on the Corner with Dale Hoffman, North Arkansas's premier news talk program. Brought to you by Brewed Awakening Coffee, with 3 locations to serve you. Baxter Regional Medical Center lobby, Highway 62 412 at Balmer Boulevard, and the Walmart East Plaza. And now, Down on the Corner.
Good morning, Norris on Southern Missouri. It is Wednesday, May 30, 2018. It is 7 a.m. Welcome to Down on the Corner program. Dale Hoffman, your host. How's everybody doing today?
I'm great.
Yeah.
It's another beautiful day.
Yep. Doing well.
You got all your stuff ready for the show there?
No. Anyway, that's our secret, okay?
Not anymore.
Not anymore. Talk about spilling the beans. Wow. Hang on a second. Let me share this. Have you logged that? Have you got Facebook running?
Yeah, it's going.
I need to do this real quick. And there it is, right there.
This is actually a kind of a comical morning. I don't know what just happened.
I don't either. Just all of a sudden, boom, here we are. We're on the air. Let's see. We're going to share this to Down on the Corner page so people can watch it. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to tell you about Brewed Awakening Coffee, the best coffee in town. As you heard in the introduction, 3 locations to serve you. BRMC Lobby, and of course we got Balmer Boulevard and 62 East Plaza. How's the coffee today?
Very good.
Yeah. Scooter? Oh, he's drinking water today.
I got water. It's summertime. I can't really do the coffee in summertime.
Well, I'm down to 3 cups, 4 cups before 9, instead of the whole pot.
I don't know how you do it, but more power to you.
Brewed Awakening Coffee, the best coffee in town. Check them out. 3 locations to serve you. And if you're not drinking Brewed Awakening, you're just drinking muddy water, right?
Or Coke or water or whatever he's got.
Or Pepsi. I used to drink a lot of Pepsi Cola back 30 years ago, and I can't. It's too sweet.
Yeah, I could see that.
And then remember the days when Coke changed the formula somewhere in the 80s, and the first time I got the new old Coke, they went back to the original formula. My dad and I were coming back from a sales meeting in New Orleans. We stopped in, no joke, Transylvania, Louisiana. Been there?
I have not.
Transylvania, Louisiana. And the Coke hit the spot, and I've been with Coke ever since. Transylvania, Louisiana.
I've seen what Coke will do to battery acid
and
a thing of meat. It's a scary theory, It just kind of makes
It'll sure clean the battery corrosion off of it.
Do you remember, because they went through that where they were changing Cokes and stuff where they weren't so bad, not using real sugars and different things, but then they came out with the other side of the spectrum. They came out with this drink called Jolt.
Yeah.
Twice the sugar, twice the caffeine, and kids were going nuts over this.
Jolt. I remember. Yeah.
I remember that. That's been a while. Jolt.
What soft drinks do you remember as a kid that are no longer around?
Squirt.
You can still get that.
No, you can still get Squirt.
Squirt, yeah.
Not that often, but
I don't know. Have you seen Tab?
I have not seen Tab.
Man, I think I'd rather lick the dipstick on the motor oil than Tab. Man, that was.
You're not talking about good soda, right?
No, we're just talking about soda in general. It's all right.
That's what I thought.
Well, we had up in St. Louis, we had Team, Teem. It was like 7-Up and Sprite. And then up there we had Double Cola. I'll tell you, another one I liked was Royal Crown Cola.
RC? Yeah, that's one of my drinks.
Is it?
So you got your 2 main, little quiz, you got your 2 main Pepsi and Coke.
Yeah.
But what's the one item that they share, that they both have rights to?
I don't know.
Dr. Pepper.
Oh, really?
Both of them have Dr. Pepper. Now, you turn around and you look at, like, root beers.
Who's
one
got
of them's
Mr.
got
Pibb?
Barks. One of them's got blah, blah, blah. But I don't know where Mr. Pibb's at, but I can get Dr. Pepper from either one of them.
Wow. We learned something today, didn't we? Anyway, Roller Funeral Homes of Arkansas bring you morning prayer each and every day with all our respect. Roller Funeral Homes across the state of Arkansas. When the need arises, choose Roller Funeral Homes to handle the services for your loved ones. They will do it with the utmost pride and dignity and respect to your family and your loved one. Correct?
Yes, they will.
Yes, they will. Fine folks there all across the state. Let's pause now for our morning prayer. Heavenly Father, Scripture says, he without sin should cast the first stone. Or Lord, perhaps the state of Missouri should check every government-issued computer and phone for content. Wonder what they would find. Next, I wonder where all the evidence is on Governor Greitens. Lord, the bottom line is we all are sinners and we all make mistakes, and some mistakes do have huge consequences, as we have seen. But Lord, for some reason, I feel the situation with Governor Greitens in Missouri is bullying. One picture, one list, yet no charges filed. Go figure. Lord, my prayers for the state of Missouri today is they've lost their governor, new one comes on board, and that you'll guide that state. And that's my prayer today. Amen.
Amen.
Morning prayer brought to you by Roller Funeral Homes of Arkansas. With all our respect, Roller Funeral Homes. And Greg Farm Services brings you the morning weather each and every day on the farm, around the home, and in the community. Greg Farm Services. We're going to check real quick for specials and store announcements. And let's see, Real Dad, Steel Dad, happy Father's Day from Steel. Let's see what we have here. Father's Day gifts available at Greg's Farm Services. Check out their fine line of steel products there. Gifts for Dad under $10, true utility for your pocket tools and lights. You see it listed right there on the screen. All kinds of good things available for Father's Day coming up. And let's not forget Saturday, August. What are you trying to do? Oh, trying to find it there.
Sorry about that, Dad.
I'm sorry, Jerry. We just happen to be doing a show over here. I hope we're not interfering with you.
I love just.
This is going to be one of them mornings.
It's going to be one of them mornings, isn't it? Greg's Wildlife Expo comes up at the Mexico County Fairgrounds on Saturday, August 11th. Yes, we're about 2 months out, a little over 2 months out. Be sure to check out Johnny Morris's Wonders of Wildlife National Museum and Aquarium. And registration for vendors is still open. You can see it right here on the screen. And so you go to gregfarmservices.com, and it's right here under, where'd it go? There it goes, right there. And be sure to click that for details. Greg's Farm Services brings you the morning weather each and every day. This morning we're showing 69 degrees in Mountain Home with lots of humidity. 68 at Harrison's, already 70 at Hardy, 72 already in Mountain View, 69 at Yellville, 72 at Marshall, 69 at Calico Rock. St. Louis getting a shower at 73 degrees there, while Poplar Bluff is down to 69 degrees, 64 at Branson, 68 at West Plains, and 10 degrees difference between here and Watford City, North Dakota. It's a nice, cool 59 in Watford City this morning. I want to go ahead and refresh this radar real quick because we are picking up some showers that are moving quite rapidly. You can see the national radar with little green blobs all across the country in Montana, Idaho, North Dakota, Minnesota, Iowa, Wisconsin, northern Illinois, southern Indiana, west part of Kentucky. This is the remnants of, what was that? Alberto that came through. Florida, Georgia, Alabama. Not much in Mississippi right now, but we are getting stuff in Arkansas. So I'm going to hit that Little Rock stop there, Scooter, if it's all right.
You go right ahead.
Shower activity from Pine Bluff down towards Texarkana, Little Rock, Conway, and a little bit of shower activity comes all the way up into Marion County. So that will affect Highway 62 west of Mountain Home, 62 412 west. Also, Highway 65 looks like from basically Harrison down to Conway is going to have that rain shower. It's not a lot of rain, but it's just kind of one of those. There, one time, I get two more to go.
That's one.
Whack! Hit the microphone. If you're driving Highway 65 from Harrison to Conway, Little Rock, then you're probably going to have the wipers on delay. And you can see down around Pine Bluff, a little bit heavier shower activity. I think we got some more coming later today and into tomorrow. Southern Missouri, well, hit that stop right there. Nothing going on in southwest Missouri. Kansas City, Columbia, Joplin, Springfield, Branson. Looks like it's all good right there. Your Interstate 70 and I-44. We'll hit that stop out of St. Louis. You can see the swirl right there over Evansville, Indiana, of Alberto right there. So it's affecting southern Illinois. Out of St. Louis, east on 70, not too bad. But once you get over around Mount Vernon, Illinois, and I-64 towards Evansville, Indiana, and pick up that shower activity there going east on I-64. And other than that, the highways in Arkansas were basically clear in the northern part with the exception of 62 412 west over around Marion County. We're getting a little bit of shower activity there. Right?
Looks good.
And the forecast. Let's see here. For today, a 40% chance of thunderstorms drops to a 20% chance tonight, 30% tomorrow, 40% Thursday night. Highs this week 88 today, 89 tomorrow, 91 on Friday, 93 on Saturday, 82 on Sunday. So apparently we've got a cooler front coming through Saturday night with a 50% chance of showers. And that's about it.
Not a bad forecast.
No, not bad. Morning weather brought to you by Greg's Farm Services. On the farm, around the home, in the community. Greg's Farm Services, Mountain Home, and Midway. Jerry.
Good group of folks, man.
Yeah, they are. Fine folks.
All right, on community calendar, we have rolling. I had that thing up there. Here we go. June 2nd, Saturday at 8:30 a.m., the 12th annual benefit golf tournament for Kindness Inc. That's $100 per team, $20 a cart. And they're going to have $10,000 hole-in-one and putting contests plus other fun contests throughout the day. That is at the Twin Lakes Golf Course Saturday at 8:30. Also Saturday at 5:30 p.m. the Mountain Home Symphony Concert. That's at the Veda Shed Community Development Center.
At what time did it start, you say?
That's 5:30 p.m.
Yep.
And tickets are $8 for adult. Children 12 and under are free. Cash only, please. And you can purchase this in the foyer before the concert.
Oh, good.
And you don't even have to take your shoes off. Just go right in that foyer.
You just like that word, foyer.
Yes, I do. Take your shoes off in the foyer, please. And mark your calendar. June 5th, that's next Tuesday. Serenity is doing the Taste of Twin Lakes. I think tickets are $45 for that, and you have a bunch of food. They're not, I guess food vendors, but they actually have brick and mortar buildings. But they come out there and
let you taste their food.
Yep.
You get to go around and get small samples of everybody's, and it's really a neat thing. They've got a silent auction that's going on, and then they'll have a regular auction, and it's a fun night. You get to eat. The whole thing is great.
yeah.
I really do enjoy it. I've been there quite a few times, and I like it.
Do you still get to vote on which
I think so,
restaurant
yeah.
or vendor you like, and then the one who gets the most vote is considered the best of the taste in town for
I think
whatever.
that works, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, that is a fun time.
They do a judging contest with judges, and then they do a people's choice type thing.
All right. 7:13 coming up. Dennis Dunderdale from Arkansas Game and Fish will be here, so stick around. We will be right back.
Jim Brown Company keeps you cool when it's hot and warm when it's not. A trusted name in the mountain home community, Jim Brown Company provides timely heating and cooling installation and repairs. Our certified technicians incorporate new technology on every job to provide you with the most advanced services. At our metal fabrication shop, we handle projects big and small. We've created everything from commercial ducts to custom designs.
I'd recommend Jim Brown Company to my friends and neighbors. The reason being they have high-tech equipment. Their service techs are well qualified for the job that they do, and they also send me a report after all the work is done so I know exactly what my unit's doing.
By visiting our showroom, you can learn all about our heating and cooling products. We'll educate you on your options and help you decide on the right solution. For total comfort at your home or business, choose Jim Brown Company. Quality service with a family name since 1964.
You already know that Ferris mowers are the only mowers on the market with a patented spring suspension system, saving you time in the seat, less back stress, and a professional even cut every time. You already know that Mower Warehouse is the only area dealership that will accept your mower trade-in. But did you know that a truckload of discounted 2017 models just arrived at Mower Warehouse, allowing you the pleasure of saving hundreds of dollars on your next mower purchase of a new Ferris or Simplicity zero-turn machine? Come check out the parking lot sale at Mower Warehouse, located on Buzzard Roost in Mountain Home.
Hello, I'm Charles Ferguson. Here at Mountain View Chevrolet, we still do business the old-fashioned way with honesty and integrity. And we have a good inventory of new Chevy cars, trucks, and SUVs from large to small. Our service department has all GM certified technicians and our friendly salespeople are ready and eager to fit a car straight to your needs in a price range you can afford. We also have a lot full of pre-owned cars and trucks, program and new car trade-ins to choose from. So come see us at Mountain View Chevrolet.
Our old burger was only 7 ounces, but now it's 8 with brioche bun and pickles. Comes with its own steak knife, it's really that big. Your best competition is always yourself. Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back. Oh baby, Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back. We're focused on one thing, burgers, ribs, fajitas. Just that one thing, burgers, ribs, and fajitas. We're reeling in our menu because it got out of hand. We had a moment of self-actualization. Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back. Oh baby, Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back.
You've tried medications just cover up the pain, and you've tried dieting to help lose weight. Before you try something drastic like surgery to get rid of the numbness and tingling, why don't you try a better approach to health? Hi, I'm Dr. Charles Osgood, and at Mountain Home Family Chiropractic, we heal the whole person the natural way.
At Mountain Home Family Chiropractic, we take a hands-on approach to chiropractic care, massage therapy, and nutritional counseling. Our 20 years of service has led to successful results.
When I come in to see Dr. Osgood, sometimes after one adjustment, I have immediate relief. Sometimes it takes 4 or 5 adjustments.
I recommend Mountain Home Family Chiropractic because it really works and keeps me pain-free.
Mountain Home Family Chiropractic supports the community by donating to Mountain Home Food Basket and the Lions Club. Request an appointment with us today at Mountain Home Family Chiropractic. Excellence for your body and frame alignment.
$7:17, and it's always fun when Denis Dunderdale from Arkansas Game and Fish comes in to do the show. We schedule him on the last Wednesday of the month, and always a lot of fun and a lot of information. So, Denis, welcome back.
Well,
what you got for us?
It's good to be back. Actually, I'm just back on the heels. It seems like every time I'm here, I just came back from somewhere, but this time I just came back from Pittsburgh, New Hampshire.
I saw some pictures.
And if you don't know where Pittsburgh, New Hampshire is, if you picture the map of the state in your mind, it comes to a point at the northern edge where Canada, Vermont, I think Maine actually pops in there. Anyway, if it went any further north, I'd need a passport to get back home. So anyway, I went up there with a bunch of friends of mine that I used to know and live with years and years ago, and every year they get together for a salmon fishing trip. Landlocked salmon up there, of course. It's the same DNA as Atlantic salmon, but they're landlocked, I'm assuming through the melting of the ice age. And boy, what gorgeous country that is. But anyway, nice cool weather, 40 at night, 65 in the day. It was
rubbing in.
Yeah, well, hey, I'm back here too,
Throw this map up on the screen. Let's take a look at this. This is kind of cool. It's just right up here in this area right in here where you see the swirl of the mouse. You see Maine, Vermont. And what's the country like up there? Is it woods and mountains like we have here? Or is it long rolling plains? No.
It's heavy timber, tall, really? What they call tall timber, meaning mostly pines, balsams,
really,
evergreens, that sort of thing. It's on the northern slope of the White Mountains, so it's hilly, but it's not heavily mountainous like it would be. 100 miles south of there, you're into Mount Washington and the Presidential Range, and some absolutely amazing mountains where the old man in the mountain used to be located till it crumbled and fell apart. But anyway, it's
kind of a total different lifestyle up there, isn't it? What's their livelihood? How they earn a living?
Well, now up in the Pittsburgh area, it's as much tourism. It's a lot like the Ozarks, actually. Really? Yeah, it's as much tourism as it is anything. But their previous primary economy was logging and timber, and there's still a lot of that. But mainly it's tourism now. Big fishing area. That's the origin of the Connecticut River. The Connecticut Lakes region is up there. There's 4 Connecticut lakes. The first lake is a fairly good-sized lake. It's the most southern lake or downstream lake. Then the second, third, and then the fourth lake is actually nothing more than a big beaver dam. It's really tiny.
Well, you weren't too far from Montreal.
No, not really. Sherbrooke, or Sherbrooke is however you say. They call it Sherbrooke, but that's probably the closest city to it. But
that's
anyway,
interesting. I'd like to go up there just to see that part of the country. I've been all through
it's a beautiful
the Midwest,
part of the world.
Iowa, Louisiana, Alabama, place like that. I'd like to go
This
up there.
time of year, it's a beautiful part of the world. Their winters are a little different than our winters, however.
Man,
I might say. I mean,
you think I'd get grumpy and cold weather down here? Probably up there cold weather.
They sport 12 feet of snow, you know, whereas we come to a screaming halt with 12 inches, which, but they're also geared for it too. Man. But anyway, real nice part of the world. Interestingly enough, when I was a young man and had, used to take the kids up there, one of the big things to do at night would be to go up and ride up and down Route 3 is the main road up there. We'd ride up and down and look at moose at night.
Wow.
You wouldn't have to spotlight them. I mean, they'd just be everywhere. There'd be moose there like there are deer in the national forest here. I mean, just everywhere. Now, not so much. Evidently, there's a tick-borne illness, and I don't know if it's Lyme disease or Ehrlichia or what it is. But anyway, there's a tick that they picked up from the deer, so it must be a deer tick, I guess. And it has almost decimated the moose population in that entire region. And
so does New Hampshire have like a game and fish like Arkansas game?
Oh, sure, yeah. It's called the Fish and Game, but the New Hampshire Fish and Game Commission. And yeah, they sure do. In fact, the game warden for that county is...
That.
Excuse me?
There'd be almost handicapped. How do you go after something like that? Kind of like our chronic wasting disease.
Yeah, I mean, there's... You do what you can, you limit they used to give out, I can't remember how many moose permits they would give out now. And it's not just there, it's in Maine and Vermont and all of that. Somebody had told me that this year Vermont was only giving out 35 moose permits, whereas they used to give out a couple of hundred, or several hundred. I don't know what New Hampshire and Maine are doing, but they do that. There's not a whole lot you can do. I mean, you can't go out and collect the ticks, but it's a big problem. Anyway,
it's funny though how something like that, because you're gonna have ticks and chiggers and everything else in the woods, and then all of a sudden you get this illness that comes in from what they're thinking may be a deer tick. And what changed the biology in the tick to cause the they don't you sit there scratching your head on that.
There are smarter minds than I working on that one, which
don't you know that
in this case is most people.
They're up there. What happened?
Yeah. And I hadn't been up there in probably 15 years.
Really?
And last time I was up there was moose everywhere. And
really?
This time we could barely find one. Anyway, it was a great trip. I did manage to catch one salmon. And
how big was it?
About 22 inches. Good size. Not
8,
huge.
9 pounds?
Yeah, somewhere in there. About 10. I didn't weigh it, but we did eat it though. It was good. It fed camp that night. Anyway, back to Arkansas. Don't mean to be here from Game and Fish promoting the state of New Hampshire's wildlife. But anyway, it was a fun trip, but I'm glad to be back. Glad to be home. So we've got a few things going on. As is usually the case, we're back into a hunting season now. The squirrel season opened on the 15th of May. So we're back into that, and I might dare say there are some people that are just rabid about squirrel hunting. That's their thing, and they're probably going out. But most folks aren't so keen about going into the woods with ticks and chiggers this time of year. Those ticks will carry you out of there if you stand still for a short time. Mm-hmm. However, squirrel season is back, and it runs all the way through the end of February. So we've got a good long squirrel season.
You mean it runs that long?
Mm-hmm. Yep, sure does. Yep. And then we'll have other seasons opening up as the summer and fall progress, and we'll talk more about those when the time comes. Just a friendly reminder to everybody, we talked about it in more detail on the last show, but there are new trout regulations for those looking to keep trout, to harvest trout. What's under my feet here? Okay, there we go. To harvest trout, different creel limits now. Well, it's still a 5 fish total creel limit. But there are different limits. I just want to make a quick reminder here. For rainbows and brook trout, you can only keep 1 fish over 14 inches. You can keep rainbows under 14, but only 1 can be kept over 14 inches. Brown trout and cutthroat still have a 24-inch minimum length, and you can only keep one.
Is that nose to extreme tail?
It's nose to extreme tail with the tail squeezed down to its most elongated point. Okay. So yeah, and there's actually a little diagram in our trout guide.
Let me see.
I've
seen that. Let me see if I can find that while you talk.
Yeah, you don't have to cheat yourself with that little fraction of an inch, and sometimes that means the difference between a keeper and a must release. There's no culling. Culling is when you release a shorter fish for the larger one that you just caught. Once that fish goes into your live well or onto your stringer or however it is you're going to keep your fish, once that's there, you can't throw that one back when you catch a bigger one. And if you're fishing with bait, you cannot use treble hooks. You can use treble hooks barbed in the catch and release areas, but you can't put power bait on a treble hook. There you go. There's your diagram right there.
Can we throw that up there? See if I can enlarge that. I don't see the... Anyway, with the squeeze tail, you see right here, I'll put the little arrow on the screen. Squeeze tail.
Yeah. Yeah, and you can see how when you squeeze that down, you get a little bit more length out of it, and that way you can maximize.
And one of them was what, 24 inch, and one was 14.
Right. Brown trout and cutthroat trout are 24 inch, and rainbows and brook trout, only one fish over 14 inches. You can keep others, up to your limit. You can only still keep 2 brooks and two brooks. The rest can be rainbows or a combination of the others, but the other 2, the browns and the cutthroats, have to be 24, and rainbows can be any size, but only one can be kept over 14 inches. And a total limit of 5 fish.
5.
Yeah. Anyway, I know that's confusing. That's why that guidebook is out there.
You can go right here.
And you can pick that guidebook up pretty much anywhere that sells licenses, or you can stop by the Game and Fish office over there on the corner of Church and 5th Street, diagonally behind the square. Now, that's not what we call a staffed office. I mean, there was people work there. My office is there, but we're usually out. Yeah, and it's mainly for the fisheries biologist. We don't have a receptionist. So if there's nobody there, just call. I'll give the number before the show ends, but you can always call to see if someone's there. In fact, I'll give that number now. It's 870, the local area code, 870-425-7577. And that's the number for that office. And if somebody's there, they'll pick up. If not, then you'll get the answering machine. But anyway, that's just again a reminder. Get that guidebook, or you can also do it online. agfc.com is the URL for our website, and all of our guidebooks. That's just the trout guidebook that we were referring to, but the general fishing guidebook and whatever hunting season might be appropriate, those guidebooks are also online. You'll find those under our resources tab along the top of actually any page. But if you hit the resources, you'll see under regulations. Hit regulations, and then you'll see guidebooks.
There it is. Yeah.
Okay, and then you can select whichever guidebook it is you're referring to. And you can print. And what's good about that, if you're only interested in a piece of information, you can pull that out and print it, or screen save it, or
So hunting guidebook, I can open that. It comes up as a PDF file, as you see on the screen there at home.
Exactly.
And you scroll down here, and the guidebook is right there.
And
very
there
simple,
you go. Yep.
User friendly. I love the website.
Yep. Yeah, and good graphics, nice vibrant colors, and Anyway. Okay, so what else? I've got a few things I want to talk about. Community events going on. Of course, over at the Fred Berry Center, we like to promote what's going on there. We've got a couple of, these are primarily teacher professional development workshops, but if there's room and you want to register, they're open. The next one coming up, is the week after next, June 8th and 9th, is called Wild About Crooked Creek, and it's basically all about the ecosystem of Crooked Creek. That's a native grasslands prairie region, as well as of course, the Crooked Creek surrounds our property. Sure enough. Now, don't know that one isn't booked out. I think that might, when I say sold out, of course there's no fee for any of this stuff. We don't charge, but we do require reservations, especially for those. If you're a school teacher and you're looking for professional development credit, that's a good way to pick up. I think 10 credits is what we're giving for that one because it's a 2-day event. And again, it may be full. The next one will be in July.
But they can call that Fredberry Center, find out, right?
Yes, and then the number for Fredberry, by the way, I've got that handy as well. That's area code 870-449-3484. And you can call over there and talk to Marilyn or Ken or whoever happens to answer, and they'll give you the skinny on that. The next one is in July. It's July 18th and 19th, and that's called Wild About Caves. Again, geared mainly towards school teachers, and the point of those school teacher development workshops is we teach the teacher. In other words, we give them the information plus some curriculum, and we give them handouts that they can use for their students. But that one's going to be all about caves and the whole geology and ecology. It's a fabulous workshop, and that's 2 days as well.
And that's 18 and 19 July?
That's 18 and 19 July. And again, I don't know the status of its bookings, but call the Fredberry Center at 870-449-3484, and they'll tell you what's going on. Now, just as an ongoing thing through the summer, and they've started this now, so there's 3 days a week we have things going on for families and kids. We have Target Tuesdays, which is every Tuesday, Wild Wednesdays, and Fishing Fridays. And those go from 9 to 11. We ask that you be there and chaperone your child. We'd love to offer drop-off babysitting services, but we just don't have the resources for that. So it's not it's not like a daycare type situation like the youth center and some other places can offer. But we do, we encourage you to bring your kids, or if you don't have kids, come on over anyway. The Target Tuesdays. Some weeks it's BB guns, some weeks it's archery. 1 week or a couple of weeks they're going to do hatchet throwing, just some stuff like that. Wild Wednesdays.
Wear your helmet.
Yeah, yeah. And Wild Wednesdays, each week they select a different critter. It'll be we're not doing the alligator this year, but we'll do possums and other critters, snakes and reptiles and just different kinds of things.
Pretty things, huh?
Yeah. And then Fishing Fridays, that's we have a catfish pond there. It's catch and release. Bring your own rods, or you can use one of ours. We'll provide bait and all of that kind of stuff if you need help. And if you've never done any kind of catfishing, there's mainly channel catfish and bluegill in the pond. And we'll certainly help you get pointed in the right direction with all of that.
Hold that thought.
Okay.
We're kind of like fumbling the football down the field. We're 3 minutes behind.
Oh, dear.
Time for a quick break. Visiting with Denis Dunderdale, Arkansas Game and Fish. Always good when Denis is here. We'll be right back.
If you want the best breakfast or lunch in the Twin Lakes area, then you've got to come to the Old Time Restaurant. Voted the best breakfast and lunch for 2011, the Old Time Restaurant not only gives you the Southern hospitality right when you walk in the door, they also offer scrumptious breakfast options to curb that early morning appetite. Or stop in later in the day for a tasty sandwich, salad, or a daily special. If a sweet tooth is your guilty pleasure, you can't go wrong with the Pie Lady cooking out over 30 different types of pies. That's the Old Time Restaurant located on the square in Mountain Home.
With a large showroom of over 13,000 square feet, the Furniture Depot is your local choice for quality name brand furniture at prices anyone can afford. They carry a great selection of catnapper recliners, power recliners with lumbar support and lift chairs. Check out Furniture Depot's variety of living room and dining room sets in various styles and designs. And don't forget about their mattress gallery featuring Serta, Symbol mattresses, and adjustable beds. Family owned and operated, that's Furniture Depot, located in the Ozark Shopping Center in Mountain Home.
So there I was, naked as a jaybird in the shower with soap in my hair and eyes when I lost water pressure down to a dribble. I immediately grabbed my towel and dialed up Jake at JM Sales and Pump Service. Jake came right over and fixed my water pressure. Now I can take my showers with confidence. Just call Jake.
For all your sales and pump needs, just call Jake at JM Sales and Pump Service, 870-431-5445. He offers high-quality stay-right products.
More than just propane, Reeves Propane provides you full-service propane delivery, as well as tank and piping installation. We are your dependable choice, offering the very best in personal service with on-time deliveries and competitive prices. Reeves Propane also sells and installs tankless water heaters and appliances, and can even convert your gas cook stove to liquid propane. So no need to fuss and cuss about bad service. Call us at Reeves Propane. We greatly appreciate your business, and God bless.
Why would I recommend?
7:35. According to the radar, we've got some shower activity on the southern part of Mountain Home right now, and so if you're getting a little bit of rain, I'm envious. Dennis, what are you coming up with?
Oh, we got a few more things to talk about. We've got a boater education class at the Baxter Library. I know it's the Donald W. Reynolds Library, but I think most folks refer to it as the Baxter Library or the Baxter County Library. That's Friday, June 8th. And that's an all-day class. It's from 10 to 5 is when we'll do that one. To register for that, we would like you to register. To register that, you can either just call the library and register with them, or go to their website, which I don't have that. However, should be easy enough to find. Or you can go to the Game and Fish website and just follow the links to boater education, or you can go directly to register-ed.com. And that'll take you to that. But anyway, if you didn't register, don't not come. I mean, we would like to register. It does move things along a little more quickly when we get to that day. But that's there. And anybody born after 1986 that wants to operate a motorboat in Arkansas is required to have the boater education card in their possession while they're operating.
It wouldn't hurt for some of us older guys to have a refresher course?
Absolutely not. In fact, I get that quite a bit. You know, folks will say to me sometimes, "Well, I don't need it. I'm grandfathered." Well, that's true. Legally, you don't need that. But there is a ton of information, and we often get folks that are old enough where they aren't required to have it, but they'll come with one of their kids, or every once in a while, you know, an older couple that maybe just bought a boat for the first time in a while, and they comment every time, "Man, this thing was just so loaded with great information," and it really is. So there's a whole lot more to it than, of course, the big deal is wear your life jacket and wear your cutoff switch, you know, lanyard strap. But there's so much more, and of course we could, you know, take a whole show and get into that. But we've got one locally coming up. Again, you can also find out where else in the state those, as well as hunter education classes are, again, on register-ed.com. And that will that'll bring you to the website that we use to manage and register and log in any place, anywhere we're having a class, as well as a place where you can come to take the test for the hunter education if you decide you're going to do that online.
Oh, I got a quick question for you.
Yep.
I don't want to throw you a curveball here, but
Nope.
Last night on the news they had a video up in Hollister, Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
Just here comes a black bear just out of the woods and lollygagging through Hollister, and there you see on Facebook occasionally people are in their deer stands, and here comes a bear.
Mm-hmm.
Have there been a lot of bear sightings here in northern Arkansas in the last couple of weeks?
Well, I'm not tracking the sightings. We do have a group of folks that do. Myron Means is our state bear biologist, and I absolutely promise you he's on top of every nuisance call or sighting call that we get. And I haven't spoken to him about the numbers this year, but I will say this is the time of year when we run into that. Mm-hmm. And the main reason for it is, and typically, not 100% of the time, but when we have a sighting or when we see a bear, it's usually a yearling male. Yearling meaning that bear is between 1 and 2 years old. And the reason for that is when they're 2 years old, or when they're coming up to their second season in the den, they get to stay with the mother for the first full season, and then they go into the den with her for the second season. And then when they come out of the den, she kicks them out of the range and forces them to go find their own new home range. And we kind of chuckle and say that's sort of like giving a 14-year-old $1,000 and the keys to the truck. The chances of them going doing the right thing and investing that money and finding out where the educational opportunities are pretty slim.
That's why we get bears in the trash cans.
Exactly. Well, these bears are not all that educated yet. I mean, they've got some basic survival instincts, but they're looking for food, you know, and looking for a place to go, and they don't know where that is. So their sense of smell is amazingly strong. They can smell food a mile away.
What are they? Are the carnivores? I mean, you hear them getting in beehives, all this, but will they look for meat?
They're an omnivore, technically, meaning they'll eat
just about anything.
Pretty much anything, yeah. They're not really known to hunt for food. In other words, they're not going to chase an animal down to eat it, because that would burn too many calories, and they need those calories later in the year to make it through their hibernation. But they will eat what we call carrion, which is, you know, a dead animal that they find. You know, if they find a dead rabbit or something like that, they'll absolutely eat that. Mainly, their main source of protein is from bugs, from insects, and they get, you know, just gobs of protein by ripping the bark off of downed logs and bees and, you know, that sort of thing. Otherwise, they're big. When they first come out of the den, of course, they haven't eaten for 4 months, so they eat grass and succulents and really soft, gentle kind of things, and they'll do that for several weeks, and then they'll start on berries and other forms of vegetation, and then as the nuts and the acorns and things like that start to drop, then they really start loading up on that fat-rich, oily, you know, really, you know, bulking up big time for their hibernation. And then once they go into the den, they don't eat, they don't drink any water, they don't urinate or defecate, nothing. Their systems all but shut down. And if it's a pregnant sow, then she'll give birth in and around I think January, I think is, you know, early January is when they give birth. And then they come out of the den somewhere in March, in that time frame. So they've been out of the den now for a little bit, and they've been kind of wandering around. The females get to stay in the range, you know, with their family of origin or their mother, but the males, after that second year, they get the boot, and that's typically what we find. They're not likely to charge an attack except for two primary reasons. One is if they feel their food source is threatened. So if they're working on, say, you know, if they say they found some carrion, or they're working on a log with, and you know, stumble in, and for some reason they perceive you're going to, you know, try to get that could be really dangerous. And then the other one, of course, is when you get between, or at least she perceives you're threatening her cubs, and that's, you know, that's a big deal. Then she'll do what she has to defend them. Otherwise, they're going to take off. They don't want any more part of you than you do them. They're very shy. They don't like noise. They like to be in areas where there aren't people. So, you know, they're not going to typically habitate in populated areas, except for the one up by Bidwell Point. old Betty up there. We get calls all the time about that.
Still roaming around up there.
Oh, still up there. Yeah.
But apparently that one's been up there quite a while. A couple years ago, we had some folks coming in from West Plains for a meeting at the mayor's office, and they had to slow down for a bear crossing the highway.
Yep.
So they're still up there.
It was probably that one. Yeah, and that's, you know, when you think about that area, it's large enough and thick enough. Excuse me. And not all that populated, you know, for that section, but the places.
But they could roam that lake shore. I mean,
and they do.
Yeah, you know, you can have that whole perimeter.
Sure, and they do. And when you consider how much shoreline there is, I forget how many miles, but I'm not even going to guess, of perimeter of Norfolk or Bull Shoals, either one of them. There's a lot of area that's not developed, where people don't go. That, you know, I wouldn't go so far as to say no one's ever been, but, you know, it's pretty scarce, and that's good habitat for bears. Yeah.
What about honeybees? You know, we hear this thing about honeybees. I saw a report come out and say, well, that last report that said they're going to be endangered, all this is not as accurate as what they found, and now they've come up with the bee population up 25 to 30% over the last 3 years. Does AGFC track stuff like that?
Yes.
Yes and no.
Yes and no. What we do is we support the groups that do. As a matter of fact, I'm glad you mentioned that, because I wanted to mention that the Marion County Beekeepers, which is a private club, a non-governmental organization, or an NGO as we call them, they meet, I think it's the second, let me get that. Yeah, the second Tuesday at the Fred Berry Center from 6:30 to 8 o'clock.
Second Tuesday.
And although I don't know that they have any workshops scheduled now, of course they have their meetings, and those are all workshops. Usually they have a speaker of some kind, and it's all educational. But a couple of times during the year they have like a full day seminar, really informative stuff. It might be how to get started in beekeeping. It might be an interpretation of the report that you just referenced. I've heard that too, but the way that I heard it wasn't so much that the initial report wasn't accurate, was that the public awareness and for other reasons too, and I don't want to attribute it to any one factor, but that there is an upswing, or an uptick is probably a better way to put it, an uptick in the population, and that it's trending back in a more positive direction.
Good.
Well, I'll tell you, I mean, it's one of those things we don't think a whole lot about. Is bees.
Yeah, we just can't take them for granted.
But without pollination, if you don't have bees and you don't have other pollinators such as butterflies and hummingbirds, and the like, the bees are largely the pollinators. And if they stop pollinating, just think about that for a second. And it's not just the pretty flowers in the garden. We're talking about our entire food source.
There goes our salad at supper.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. So it's a huge issue. I'm really grateful that these folks do what they do, and they do a good job. So.
Hey, let's take a quick break. 7:46. More with Dennis right after this. Stick around.
Why would I recommend Hospice of the Ozarks? Because I know the people that work there. I know their hearts, and I know that their desire is to help people with the suffering and the anxiety and the things that can come with either a terminal diagnosis or a terminal condition. We want them to have a peace of heart and to have a comfort and to know that someone's there to help them through that so they can enjoy the time that they have.
Diatley Dental Care is a family-owned dental practice. Doctors Irvin and Christina Diatley grew up in the Twin Lakes area and are proud to serve the community. With modern treatment methods and state-of-the-art technology, they are dedicated to providing exemplary care to patients of all ages. Our compassionate team consistently receives training above and beyond the standard of care.
We're changing the way you see dentistry.
Come be a part of our dental family.
Have you ever noticed every time you wash your car, you end up wetter than the actual car? Next time, run down to Car Care and let the friendly staff put a smile on your face. Car Care of Mountain Home has a variety of services to clean your vehicle's needs, inside and out. From a simple wash and shine to their outstanding detail services. Located 1525 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. Stop by Car Care Mountain Home today, because driving a clean car always makes you feel good.
Do you know where your money goes when you give to charity? At the Salvation Army, 85 cents of every dollar stays to help those in need in our local community. Hi, I'm Captain Spaulding. The money we raise help people in the surrounding 5 counties, including Baxter, Marion, Sharp, Izzard, and Fulton. You can help by donating your unwanted items and by shopping at the Salvation Army store. Those in need get assistance with rent, utilities, sending kids to camp, and many other things. When it comes to this charity, the Salvation Army always helps those in our community.
Hi, I'm Ricky with
7:48. We're continuing our talk with Dennis Dunderdale, Arkansas Game and Fish.
So, back to the calendar. Man, we got a fuller calendar than when I was writing the show notes that didn't look like I was going to take that long talking about stuff. I'm going to move through these quickly, though. I mentioned the boater education, and that's coming up soon. So June 8th, that's the week after
from
next.
10 to 5, I'm showing.
That's a week from Friday, isn't it? I think it is, yeah.
Yep.
So that's coming up. Then we've got hunter education also at the library. Now that's a 10-hour class, so we have to split that over 2 days, and that will go from 10 to 4 on July 30th and 31st. So you have a little time to put that on your calendar, but that's going to be here before you know it, and we'll be getting calls on August 1st saying, when's your next hunter education?
You missed it yesterday.
We get that a lot.
Yep.
And we'll be having other ones too, but that's one that's set up for that. Fishing, a free fishing weekend is coming up on the weekend of June 8th. And that starts, I want to say that starts on noon on Friday of that weekend and ends at midnight that Sunday, I think is how that works. Again, you can hit that on the calendar on agfc.com. Down at the very bottom of the page, you'll see calendar, and then you touch free fishing weekend, and it gives you all the details about that. And to that end, we'll have derbies going all over the place. Of course, the Friends of the National Fish Hatchery at Norfolk, they have a huge derby down there at Norfolk by the up by the dam, you know, in the upper end of Norfolk. That's a big deal, so you can find out more about that from them. We'll have a derby going on at the Fred Berry Center, and we'll also have another big derby going on at Mammoth Spring at the hatchery up there, where we actually open up they're not really raceways there, but we open up the hatchery for kids to fish and catch trout right out of the hatchery.
Wow.
Yep, we do that. And then they also have a Fishing Fridays, and that starts on June, where am I here? June 22nd, June 29th, July 6th, and July 13th. So there's 4 Fishing Fridays at the Mammoth Spring hatchery, which is in Mammoth Spring, of course.
They get that bridge done on 63 yet? Is that all cleaned up yet?
I don't know. Oh, no. They're still working on it. Yeah.
How does that affect that Spring River right there?
Hasn't that I know of. I mean,
Good.
Again, I dare say there's no impact, but I haven't heard.
Minimal?
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, well, I mean, you've got a lot of focus in that area. One is you've got the national, you get the feds located right there, then you've got the state park right there, and you've got Game and Fish right there. So I think those contractors are being pretty well held to all of their proper mitigations with
Would you like to be under that thumb? Yeah.
Yeah.
3 government agencies against 1 government agency.
You're talking to the wrong guy. I've been in construction for my entire life, and I know it is not that difficult or expensive to do it right. So, anyway, that's probably going to open up a can of controversy that I'll be getting phone calls on. But anyway, do it right. In the long run, it's better. Let's see. One last thing I want to talk about. We only have a few minutes left, I do believe. We have a new initiative coming up. It's kind of a double-headed spear. The first one is Hunt Natural, and the second one is Fish Natural. And those 2 programs focus on recruitment, retention, and reactivation of licensed fishermen, fishers, and hunters. And here's what's going on. In hunting alone in Arkansas, we have lost 7% of our hunting licenses have gone, how do I say this? We have a decline of 7% of hunting license sales since 2013. Now, we thought it was starting to trend up. Last time we studied it before that was in 2011, and we saw an increase. It was starting to come back up again. Evidently, that was an outlier of the numbers, because it's been going down. We're losing hunters since then we've lost about 18,000 hunters. We sell somewhere in the area of 320 to 340,000 licenses a year, but those numbers are going down. This is a nationwide problem. It's not just Arkansas that's not just doing this. Fishing, the same thing, only not quite to the same degree, but folks are not getting out to do this. And we're, of course, there's all kinds of focus groups nationwide as well as within the state. I happen to be on, we call this the R3 initiative, which stands for Recruit, Retain, and Reintroduce, okay, or of the activities. And so what we're looking to do for this is to establish a mentored hunt program. And we're targeting folks. We do pretty well with the youth hunts, with kids, and in fact we have several of those around this area, and we, I think, do a pretty good job with that. But what we aren't hitting very well is the folks 16 to 22, or even 16 to 30. But in that, still young enough to want to, hey, I'd like to try that. I just don't know how to do it, or I don't know where to begin. But also have a driver's license, maybe a little bit of cash in their pocket to, 14-year-old, 10-year, 12-year-old kid isn't going to have that kind of resource available. But older people and young adults and working folks, they will. So what we're looking to do is our goal is to set up a mentored hunt, and we're going to do this again for fishing, but I'll just talk about the hunt for now, is to set up a mentored hunt, at least one in all of our 75 counties in the year.
There you go.
Okay. And the way that we're going about it is to establish within each county, first of all, we have a state coordinator who works for Game and Fish that will be sort of overseeing and quarterbacking this. But in each county, we'll have a county coordinator who is a volunteer outside of Game and Fish, as well as volunteer mentors who will be the ones that are actually taking these people hunting. I'll report more on this in July because we're just in the developmental stages of this. We are looking to launch it for this hunting season, though.
So it's kind of rediscover hunting.
Pretty much, yeah.
And making millennials more aware.
Yep.
Basically is what we're doing.
Yep. And, both from an educational standpoint as well as a recreational and all of that. But, there's Arkansas doesn't have too much of an issue with this. Some urban areas do, but in other parts of the country, man, if you mention the word hunting, you're looked at like a reprobate.
Yeah.
Oh my God, how could you be a killer? Well, without hunting, we would have a population explosion in wildlife that would result in a matter of single digits of years, 5 to 8 years, the population would tank. You figure wildlife reproduces at about a 10% rate per year, unchecked. So, it doesn't take long to see that curve exponentially increase to the point where the...
Well, keep in mind the deer population over the past years in Bull Shoals, where they've had
Exactly.
archery hunting open in the city limits of Bull Shoals.
That's right, the urban hunt program, and there's several communities around the state that have that for that reason.
Yeah.
But anyway, there's a whole lot. We probably ought to do a whole show on just this because it's a big deal. We're really concerned about it. We're concerned for the environmental aspects. We're concerned also if people don't buy licenses, and this isn't just a money thing for Game and Fish. Hey, we want your license dollars. Yeah, we do, but not because we get to keep that money. That is the resource that we get for conservation programs and the things that we do to keep that habitat viable for the wildlife. So we're really trying to get ahead of this and make something happen where we can reverse this trend and get folks back into the...
Well, we got 2 minutes,
Scooter?
2 minutes.
2 minutes, okay.
Final 2 minutes.
All
Boy,
right.
It goes fast, don't it? My
Boy,
goodness.
it
Wow.
sure does. Well, let me give a few phone numbers. First of all, my phone number, if you have questions, is 870-321-5548. I'll give the Fred Berry number again because some of you may want to sign up for some of those things. That's 870-449-3484. If you run into, we had somebody, I can't believe they did this, and I'll try to keep this quick. We had somebody leave a baby owl in a cardboard box at our doorstep.
Oh, come on.
At the office on a Sunday morning. So here's what I want to do. We've got a hotline that goes right to our radio room, to our dispatch, where if you see anything crazy that you think Game and Fish needs to know about and you don't have immediate access to someone, I'm going to give you that hotline number, and they can get you to a game warden, or they'll direct everything to the right person 24/7. There's somebody at that desk. That number is 800-482-9262. And that's for poaching, for,
A baby owl in a cardboard box on a
Don't
Sunday
go calling
morning.
them, asking them how much a fishing license is.
Yeah.
I mean, you can look that stuff up online, but because it's sort of like the 911 center for Game and Fish. But that's a good number to have.
Like if you saw an American bald eagle endangered, that would be the number.
That would be the number. Absolutely right. Yep.
I
Or if
almost hit one time on Highway 14.
Yeah. You told me about that coming.
Yeah.
I mean, he was flying at eye level. Yeah, we've got a lot of bald eagles in this area.
Yeah, that's good to see that population increasing too.
Yep, it sure is. Yeah, that's definitely in a healthy trend. The Little Rock office main number, there's two. One's a regular local number, one's an 800 number. The local number is area code 501-223-6300.
Yeah.
And that same the reception desk there, that toll-free number is 800-364-4263.
How are we doing on time, Scooter? 30 seconds? Yep, 30 seconds.
Okay, well, let's see. Well, let me talk about the Mammoth Spring Fishing Fridays. June 22nd, because there's time to kind of plan this one up. That one is going to, they do these in a series of sequences. It's geared towards teaching people to fish for trout. Okay, so Sean Saunders, he's our stream team coordinator. He's going to do beginning fishing 101 and fish anatomy. On the 29th, I'll be doing fly fishing for trout. On July 6th, I don't know who's doing it, but angler ethics. And the 13th is how to clean and cook fish, and they'll have a fish fry at the end of it.
And with that, we'll say goodbye. See you tomorrow. Thanks to Dennis for being here. Have a great day.